Record. Hello, everyone. Hello, speakers, Dubai speakers, Bahrain speakers. This is also one unedited version of the pre-training that we are going to be holding for you guys for your experience coming up in Dubai very soon. I am really grateful and very honored to have Nikki Incandela, which, from what I have seen, it's one of the best photographers, best branding photographers I've seen. I met Nikki on Nick Onsworth event in LA, and I saw her presenting. I saw what she was having, and I said, well, I would really like you, Nikki, to be part of our experience in Dubai. And she's going to be now permanently part of our faculty in Dubai. She unfortunately cannot join us on our first trip, but she will be coming in the future. And we are very excited to have you as part of the faculty, part of the training that needs to be done prior to this experience. And well, I think I will let you do a personal introduction and then take it over. We're going to try to make this training as conversational as possible so that we will provide the best value to you the time that we're going to be together. So, Nikki, it's a pleasure to have you here. You are right now in San Diego. I am in Houston. And through the magic of technology, we are able to create this training. So it's awesome to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you so much for, I'm honored to be a part of this, and I'm honored to give some value to everybody who's going. I'm so sorry I'll miss you. I'm so bummed. But unforeseen things, I just, I can't do the trip this time. But, I wanted to still give value. I do work internationally. I'm a speaker and a photographer, and I specialize, like Ernesto said, in the branding photography world. So I get to photograph my clients around a strategy that we create for their brand and their marketing from an entire authentic heart space. So that is a tiny clip of what I do with my clients and who I am.
You're being super humble because, I mean, what you can offer and what you have is just amazing. So I'm sure that you're going to blow everybody's mind on some topic which is incredibly well, but most than anything, it's very important, but it's also very effective to sell themselves, and it's something that not many people put too much attention to, which is personal branding, and I think it's just very important what you're going to be sharing with us. So anyway, I let you. The floor is yours.
I agree, and thank you for saying that. I appreciate it, and I am very humble, even out of all the people I've been honored to photograph, and I just, it's the regular people, quote unquote, that I get to work with that really make my heart sing, and allowing who you are to be seen in such a big way is a big gift for me. And it's funny because I have people tell me all the time, like, you are so on purpose, and I get that this is a gift for me to share, and for me to really create visibility in such a powerful way for my clients is what I truly focus on. And so what Ernesto and I were talking about as far as adding value to prepping all of you guys from my standpoint and what I speak on and how I help my clients brand themselves visually and create a perceived value for themselves is to kind of run you through a few slides that I do on stage. So although I do have slides prepared, I'm actually going to show you a slide presentation of a talk that I haven't done in a little while, but I picked it because I feel like it's going to give you the best tips and the best value. And then, I don't want it to feel like a sales pitch because that's not what this is. This is just us to add value to who you are and to your trip so that you feel completely encompassed in who you are as a brand, and you can show up that way consistently and have just the most amazing journey possible. So I do have a gift for you too. You don't have to opt in for it, or it's nothing like that. But I just told Ernesto that I want to create as much value as I can for all of you guys, since I don't get to meet you in person. I don't get to take advantage of being with you there. So,
You will do it
Ernesto,
very soon.
are we ready? Do you want me to go through the
Please go ahead.
slides?
Yes.
Okay. Because I can't see you or myself, so I just want to make sure we're on the slides as far as the screen. So the biggest value add that I give to everyone that I work with and everyone when I speak from stage is to, in order to really encompass yourself as a brand, you really need to change the way you think about yourself in photos. And there's a really powerful way to create an image, quote unquote, for yourself that really allows you to get the visibility you need and want, because it's not just about visibility. It's about making sure your photos create income for you, because that is ultimately why we're doing this. We're doing this because it's our gift to share, but we want to create an amazing, unique life for ourselves to enjoy also. And it's also about really sharing who you are from a heart space in an intentional way so that you're not just attracting people, but you're attracting your ideal client. So that's a main focus for, why you want to be on brand and why you want to think differently about getting out there. I work with a lot of people who don't feel photogenic, who've never seen a good photo of themselves, and honestly, there's like a shock value when all of a sudden I display a few hundred images that they love of themselves for the first time. Like I get to enjoy in that and take them through the process of really allowing themselves to be seen in a different way, in a super powerful way. So I'll just go through some of these slides here. The fact is how you represent yourself visually in print and in online affects your bottom line, period. So one of the things you want to do is stay consistent and figure out from a clarity standpoint how you want to show up. And it's okay, we all have different sides to our personalities. So what do you want to share about yourself in order to show up in a really authentic space? Because what I know for sure is our top marketing tool that we have that nobody can copy, like our secret weapon, is us. It's you. So really utilizing your unique gifts and your unique spirit and what drives you in life and sharing your why with people allows them to connect with you on such a deep level. And when they connect with you and they relate with you in those spaces, they know, like, and trust you better. And we all know that that's what people hire off of. Like, I have a dog, he's 5, and I very purposely used him in my marketing because I want to pull in people who are also dog lovers. I think, that dog lovers have been taught unconditional love like nobody else. So I very purposely and intentionally share my love for my dog. So, I'm going to do it anyway. I might as well be, more on point with how I'm doing it. So everything you do affects your bottom line. This is one of my girlfriends. Her name is Cindy, and she, I just want to go into this, like, helping you change the way you think about your photos, because she did not think that she was ready for branding. And she had worked for a long time. She had so much wisdom, so much experience. She was a top-notch dating coach. And she worked for a company called It's Just Lunch. And she was one of their top people. And she had left to start her own love coaching business. And these were the photos she was going to use. And I practically begged her to hire me because I knew her heart and I knew how wise and experienced she was. And these just didn't relay that, like, millionaire matchmaker that she wanted to portray. And I could spend 10 minutes just talking about, like, how wrong these photos are and all the subliminal messages that are happening in them. Yeah. But so she did hire me, and then this was the brand that she actually came out of the gate looking like. So when people say, I'm not ready for branding, I'm not really ready for that level, like, I just want to ask, like, how do you want to come out of the gate? Because when she came out of the gate with these photos, looking how she wanted to look, 5 years down the road. But she was actually already there, and I saw it in her. We just captured it in an intentional way with clothing and with environment. Um, it set her into a trajectory where people weren't like, oh, she's just starting her business. They were like, where, I can't believe I've not come across this person yet. Like, where has she been? And she told me, in fact, I just spoke on stage in Atlanta, and I talked to her the night before to help me with my presentation, and she was like, oh my God, Nikki, she just reminded me that her photos were the reason why she came out of the gate making money immediately, and no one has ever questioned her experience level in because of the way she utilizes her photos and the way she shows up, because this is who she really is. So when they get on the phone with her, they meet the same person and everything is aligned. So I'm going to go into now a few tips on how to look amazing in photos, because I won't be there to take good care of you guys, and I know Ernesto has great people lined up for you, and if for some reason you're not feeling connected, or if you're working with a local photographer on your branding photos and you're not feeling connected to that space or feeling the support, you need to take control of your photo shoot, and you need to take responsibility for showing up in a way that you want to be perceived. And so these tips will really allow you to create a more powerful experience for yourself in whatever vein you're on, video, you're in photos. There's going to be an important aspect for all of you in capturing your journey, because you need to empower others from your own personal space. So you need to think very intentionally about how you want to capture your journey so that you can share that and allow people to see what you're doing so that they know you're the one who can help them also. That's the whole point of all of this, is being of service, and that's just my opinion. But I always heart space.
This is a very common mistake, and well, you of course being a photographer, I am sure that you might have a better answer than I have, because I have no clue why does that happen. Most people don't really consider the story of the pictures, because they say, well, I am not a model, I am a little bit overweight, right. I am not the right type. I mean, they have all sorts of incantations, as Tony Robbins will say, in their mind, saying why they should not be looking great in pictures. But from what I have seen from the work that you do, and this is the reason why I was very excited to have you being part of the faculty, is because you capture the essence of the person. But you just mentioned something that I think it's great. I mean, you have to be, you as the person being photographed, you are the one that should be in control of the photo making session. I thought that was a great tip.
Okay, good. Yeah, you just have to be like really honest with yourself and the person you're working with about what it is that you really want. And if you're not feeling 100% supported, then you need to voice your opinion. Like, I always love it when my clients voice their opinion and they're just like, I'm either like, I'm not feeling this, or I think maybe this other way. And you know, I'm so open to go there with them. And either I explain to them like why I'm doing it this way so that they have a better understanding and they can relax into the experience a little bit more and we can get what we had already talked about. Or I'm like, awesome, like let's finish up a few shots here and then let's change it around and do it that way too. Just so that you have options when, you know, you're looking at everything on the computer. Because it is like you're hiring an expert, so you want to give up control, but at the same time you want to take responsibility for if your intuition is telling you something, you need to voice it. And there are always ways to voice your opinion and your thoughts in a loving manner that's not going to be rude or hurtful, and it's all good. But you have to take responsibility for being the person whose essence is being captured. And if you show up in that powerful space, that, you know, there's quite possibly even a mediocre photographer could still capture that. So I know you guys are probably working with experts, and it's all good. I just want to give all scenarios because there are a lot of amazing photographers out there, and there's a difference between someone who is like shooting into your marketing strategy and creating a brand for you versus someone who's getting you great photos, because people don't connect with perfection. And it's not about being perfect, it's about being honest, and it's about being real, and it's about just showing up and being you, the best you that you can give to people, to be of service and to like be vulnerable and share from your heart space. Like that's what it's about, because people don't connect to a perfect picture because they think that you're untouchable.
That is correct. Now, one quick question, because I see now here you were showing color and black and white. I think both play a role on the brand. Can you possibly
Yeah.
elaborate a little bit on that? Because I think that's just, for me at least, I'm trying to be also seeing this from me also to learn. And this is also an important thing that I would like to find out more about.
Yeah, no, that's a great question. It depends. When I shoot in color, that way when I go back to the computer and I download the images, I spend more time with my clients there. So when the shoot is done, like I'm not done spending time with you. The time that I get to spend with my clients on the computer is just as important, and I really allow the image to tell me what it wants to do for you. And so for me personally, as a photographer, some people don't look good in black and white. Some people look amazing in black and white. Some people look better in sepia, which is the brown, black, and white tones. With some photo shoots, I'll take things like really funky and crazy because it just matches that person's brand. But as far as color versus black and white, it really all is a matter of opinion, unless you're trying to emote a tone out of your image that you really want to relay in a strong way, because typically black and white images will add more emotion than color images. And so I'll very strategically and specifically use black and white sometimes for that, especially if it's like really contrasty or a little bit darker, or maybe just like super fun, or maybe if there's distracting details in the background, a black and white version of that color photo may look better. But for these specific photos, like I love my black and whites to be like really glowy and bright and fresh. Because, no one really loves being around the energy of a downer person. And like that darkness and that negativity, like even if we're having an off day, it's not going to sell. That's not what you want to create off of your brand, because that's not who you truly are as a soul. You're happy and joyful and loving as a soul, and whatever words you are in your unique beingness. But so I typically like my black and whites to be really light and fresh and full of like glowing goodness.
Yeah, I was
Does that help answer?
I was recently reading a book about the importance of using black and white in marketing, and one of the things that they were mentioning was that because of course our brain processes color not in black and white, there's a fascination about the black and white pictures because we do not know exactly where to place them. And I mean, using black and white sporadically in your portfolio for different projects that you're doing could be very powerful. Because of course, I mean, people, they create that fascination, that stigma, that like we do not know where to place this information, so it's going to be strongly uh, permeated all over our brains, which of course it's a great strategy. So definitely, I think part of the portfolio should be having at least one of your pictures in black and white.
Yeah, and it's funny because some people, it's the thing I said about it's a matter of opinion. I've watched people and I've asked very specifically, how they look at photos, and we've even done this with my family. And my aunt is so drawn to black and white photos. There's just something about them that she loves so much that I don't care what photo it is. If it's in black and white, she's going to love it. And then I've watched other people and done the same kind of experiment with them who just aren't drawn to black and white photos, and they always go for the color version. So that's what I meant by like a matter of like opinion. And yeah, you just like, I love the idea of like using them sporadically just to kind of like create a break in the flow, just to like get visibility, really create some noise in what they're used to seeing. And a great way to use black and white photos is if you're doing, like a brighter copy. That way your photo stands out, and then the copy also, just beams off of that. So like a bright red or a bright pink or a bright blue, something really engaging and contrasting with that black and white photo on like a banner or an opt-in page or something like that is really
That's a great tip.
rich and powerful.
Awesome.
Okay, cool. So let me, oh, I lost my mouse. Here we go. Okay, so how to look amazing in photos. Number one, be prepared. So the gift I have for you guys is a full book that I wrote on how to be prepared. So I'm going to go through a few steps, and then you'll have that to look at and reference. So when you feel good, you look good. So I tell all my clients, before a photo shoot, before going on stage, before going in front of video, make sure you hydrate, drink lots of water. Try and stay away from alcohol. I know you guys are going to be having a fun trip, but do you want to look good or do you want to look hydrated? Hydrated and good, or do you want to look like tired and like you've been partying all night? That's totally up to you. It's not good or bad. It's just your choice. So I always tell my clients to take really good care of themselves. Make sure they get plenty of sleep. Drink a lot of water. A few of my secret steps are eye drops. When your eyes are bloodshot, and you guys are going to be traveling and on a different time zone, so eye drops are going to be really big for you. But when your eyes are bloodshot and red and glossy, you actually look a little more, you look more tired, and you look a little more older than what you actually are. So nobody wants that. I can say that safely. And so taking eye drops with you will be instrumental in you showing up and really looking the way you want to look in front of all the media that you guys are going to be participating in. Because there's not Photoshop in video. Teeth whitening, that's another thing. People are like, oh, you can just whiten my teeth in photos. Well, when you're on TV and you're on video, and some photographers charge a lot of money for retouching, you just don't want to leave it in their hands. And I completely get that, and I have a few clients who have a chemical imbalance in their teeth, that actually their teeth show up yellow, and regardless of what teeth whitening they've ever tried to use, it doesn't work. So if that's you, just like, don't worry about it. Just be proud of who you are and really allow your essence to shine and not get sucked into, the insecurity of having a little more yellow teeth. But for those of you like Crest white strips, you can take with you. You can go see the dentist before the trip. Like, I don't know. But same as having red eyes, having your teeth a little more brighter will definitely help you look your best and look a little bit younger and a little bit brighter in your photos as well. And the gauge you should go by is your teeth the whiteness of your teeth should match the whiteness of your eyes. So some of us do have a little more yellow in the tint of the whites of our eyes. What doesn't look good is when your teeth are too white too. So that's just a gauge you can use to go by. But those are like little tricks that will make you look younger and more vibrant in your photos, in your video, and all of the media, without really having to do a lot. Manicure and pedicure, even for the guys, make sure that your nails on your hands look the way you want, because if you bite your nails and you're insecure about that and you're creating fists in your media appearances, it's going to make it look like you're hiding something else, and you're not going to come off as trustworthy as what you really want to come off. And people aren't going to know you're just insecure because you forgot to get your nails done, or because they're too long and you forgot to trim them, or because you bite them and they look like nubs. Like I'm a nail biter, so I totally get it. But when you try and hide anything, your teeth, your nails, in photos, people don't know anything other than you're just trying to hide something, and they get an icky feeling from you, and that's the last thing you want, because it could, like, it's like a tiny insecurity that you're letting, like, ruin that connection that we're going to have with you. So that's a good one. And pedicure, your nails, you never know if, like, a photographer is going to have you leaning on your hand and then your nails are going to be in it, or if it's a full body shot and your toes are in the photo. So these are just, like, really easy things that you can use to, like, really be prepared in a big way. Another huge tip that I give my clients, especially the ones who aren't working with me, is music. So if you have a favorite song or a favorite genre of songs, or a favorite few songs, play those on loop before, like the morning of going onto a media appearance or a photo shoot. That way, when you get nervous or you, like, lose track of something, you don't have some crazy song playing in your head. You have a song on loop that is really empowering and inspiring to you, because our mind will go back to something that we last heard, and you want that thing to be something, like, really uplifting, so that your essence and your energy stays that way. And I know you guys are going to be coached a lot around you know, how to show up on stage and video and TV, and you really do need to exude so much more energy to seem like your normal energy, quote unquote, when you're on video. Like, I would tell my assistant to tell me jokes before she would hit record, because that way I would start, and then it was up to me from there to keep my energy so high. Because my normal happy energy sometimes doesn't relay as happy enough in video or on TV. So I need to amp that up a little bit. Music, favorite song stuck in your head will help you with that.
Awesome.
Okay, so a few more tips to help you really take control of showing up in your essence. Have a natural smile. So when you think about something that makes you feel really happy, or when you're just feeling so much gratitude and your heart is full, you're going to just exude that natural happiness, and you're not going to be stuck in a space where it looks like a fake smile, because I will tell you, a lot of photographers will capture that and be fine with it. I do not, but I can feel people's energies, so I know what's going on with them when I'm working with them. But you know, this is one of those times where you just have to take control and exude that essence that you really want people to know about you, regardless of the situation that you're in at that moment. Like this is up to you. You can't go back and be like, well, the videographer. No, like, you don't want to be in that situation. Like, take responsibility. So, like, really exude that happiness, and your smile is going to be natural, and people are going to love you in your media appearances.
Yeah. A couple of questions on, can you go back to the previous slide, if that is possible?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course.
Just a couple of questions that I have here. First, on, you know, I mean, one of the things that I have heard a number of times when people are working their pictures is, yeah, but you know, I had never really been a model. I do not know how to model. What did you tell those guys? That's my first question. I have two.
I mean, well, because when I'm working with them, I get to know them, so I know what their triggers for happiness are, you know? So it's like, oh, this makes me laugh. And then I actually utilize that if I feel like they're going into a funk during our photo shoot. And it's okay. So it's interesting. So one of the things that you want to really be powerful in your media experiences is being an authority. So when you set yourself as an authority, you're showing your value, and you can do that in all different ways. Like for me, part of my authority is really allowing people to feel comfortable and accepted in my space. So I have no qualms about making fun of myself or being silly, because that makes people see me more approachable. And that's actually a tactic for me to use as part of my quote unquote authority in what I do, because it helps people open up and really allow themselves to trust me. And it's a big thing to trust with, and I feel honored by that. But so however it is for you to show up genuinely as yourself, creating that authority for yourself, people want to hire this star power. So when you show up as the celebrity version of yourself, then they get it. And we all get people on sales calls that have money issues. But when you show your value in such a powerful way, you get fewer of those money issues coming your way. Absolutely. So that's part of that like authority version. And it's funny because I was just in one of my live mastermind meetings with my business coach, and she brought in this guy Bedros, who was just so generous and came in and talked to us. He has like a multi-8-figure business, and he just like is this amazing guy who was like nervous to get in front of a room of people who make much less than him, and Bedros it just Kulian. Is very sweet. What's that?
Bedros Kulian. I know him. An interesting guy.
Oh my God, he's such a great guy. And he actually gave like a perfect example of this, where he said that his dad was a general practitioner doctor, and he did well for a living, right? Like he made just over 6 figures, and they did pretty well. Well, his friend decided to specialize in a specific area. So he was a specialist, and he had basically the same schooling as his dad did, but he made so much more money because all of a sudden he was a specialist. And then if you think about like Dr. Oz, right? I don't even know if Dr. Oz, who's like celebrity surgeon now, I don't even know if he goes into the operating room anymore. I'm actually not sure. But I'm sure when he does, and if he does, he gets paid an astronomical amount to be the doctor and the care provider for someone. So if you think of those different levels, like you really want to be the authority and the public figure and the celebrity of your industry and your brand, because you're going to be able to help many more people that way, because you're setting yourself as a standard. Exactly. And when you provide a stellar service and you provide everything that you promise, that just makes it so much even richer.
Yeah, the last time that I took branding pictures, it was already a while, so I'm happy that we're actually going to redo some of my branding pictures. It was also there in Dubai. I was with, it was a big studio, and I thought that they did something which was great. It was also covering what you're saying about music. They started playing, and they had a big screen, and they started playing the song from Madonna, "Strike a Pose." And one of the things that he was saying is, don't be afraid of striking a pose. I mean, you're not just going to be smiling, sitting there, just waiting to have your picture taken. Play a little bit. Like, for example, I see this guy on the right. I mean, he's, striking a pose. He's doing different things because the photographer has the magic of actually capturing these images, and they could be very powerful. So
yeah. So, like, there was no fan in that image, and basically I had him just flick his jacket open as he, like, took a step forward, and that's all it was.
Yeah. Now, perfect. Now, next question. Next question, and I think this is an important, this is a perfect contrast for asking that question. Backgrounds. In my eyes, branding pictures, it's much better to have them with a neutral background than with a colorful background or whatever it is in the back. Because I see a lot of pictures. I'm asking a question. I do not know. I see some people that do use backgrounds, and for example, they use plants as backgrounds or whatever it is as backgrounds. What's your take on that? On the plain background, white background, blue, black, white, whatever it is, or just whatever it is, plants or other things.
Well, I always, it's my theory that the background just plays a character role in your photo, which is why I go to extensive lengths to talk about what it is that's most important to my clients. So creating that, like, if, like, nature, so the girl in the bright pink top in the garden setting, she teaches manifesting. She makes a ton of money teaching manifesting. So she's a coach, and so that kind of like fairy goddess type of look on an elevated level was our focus for her photo shoot. So I took her to a garden space and did her entire shoot there on the grounds with like fountains and gardens, and they had beautiful, elegant outdoor setting areas that we used, but it was all outdoors. So, so that was important for her brand and who she is. The girl in all black, she lived in New York, so we had her in like a leather jacket and a sexy dress, but we wanted, she loves to work at cafes and she loves to travel, so we wanted to photograph her at like a little cafe setting to get that point across and create that relatability of all those other people who like to travel and while they're still working and like stop off at cool little places. Like, we didn't want to give it like the name of a place, so we just wanted it to look like a cute little cafe. So it was just, the environment there, once again, just playing a character role in her photo to support who she is as a person.
Yeah.
White background I will typically do just like I don't do any other backdrop except white. What I'll typically do there is give people speaking photos so that they can either use it as is and graphically add messages to the photos, or they can easily have themselves cut out of the photo and put onto like a stage type of look if they've not actually spoken on stage before and don't have photos of themselves speaking on a stage. They can create that look by using graphics. So I'll do those things. What I'll also do is if I have a client like this guy here who wants to do a more fashion editorial type of look, I look for magazine covers as my inspiration for those clients. And I can guide them, either they're like dribbling a basketball and they're not a basketball player, it just matches their message. This guy, you can't tell actually, but he has a laptop in his backhand. So he's kind of like saving the world. He does insurance and he like has people's back. So we wanted to do like a superhero type of stance for him without it being like he's not in a cape, but
Yeah.
like we made his jacket look like a cape. And so there are these like little innuendo things that we can do to really create a powerful impact and message visually. And so that's how I utilize different backgrounds. Does that answer?
Yeah, absolutely. That I think is a great idea. I mean, it reminds me, for example, when you go to the hairdresser and they have a number of pictures there to so that you can figure out, well, I would like my hair to be modeled or styled that way. Do you think it's a good idea for people to possibly, I mean, for guys to look at GQ magazines and for girls to look at Marie Claire or any other magazine to figure out, well, this is how I would like to look like, and then possibly they can take that and show it to the photographer. Is that a good idea? I don't know. I mean, I'm just...
Yes, absolutely. It's a great idea. And you know, choose the magazine that actually encompasses what you want your brand to be. You can even look at, you know, Forbes is a great magazine if you're like a really like upscale high-end brand, and that's how you want to be perceived. If you want to be like a little more mainstream, then yeah, absolutely. Look at GQ, Esquire, and you know, if you want to bring a few magazines with you that you really love the different capturing of, that's great. You can also just go online and Google, you know, GQ magazine covers, because the covers, I mean, you want to be on the freaking cover, right?
Yeah,
Like
of course.
that's where you really want to be. And then you can also mimic the inside spread, but I usually go to the cover because like that's your true celebrity. If you can like create the essence of like I'm the cover, then it, I don't know, there's something it does to my clients that really like inspires them to show up in their greatness in a different way and really like stand in the power of who they are. So yeah, I think that's a great thing to do is if you guys want to look at magazines for your inspiration.
Awesome. Okay, so we can continue to your next point. To your next,
Okay. So confidence. Confidence is the most appealing quality. People think confidence is sexy. People trust people who are confident. If you think about like even that friend that you have that just is like so full of bullshit, but you believe half the stuff they say, like it's just the confidence they have in what they're saying. So I'm not saying to like fake it or like, you know, pull one over on people, but you know, show up exuding the most confidence part of yourself
yeah,
that you know you can really like stand in and be proud of, because then you're really allowing people to see the power of what you have to offer them when they're stepping into working with you.
awesome.
And these are just a few examples of different quote unquote confident poses I've done with some of my clients.
Yeah.
Okay, so an important
Can I
one.
just go
Meaning,
back to the previous one? I'm just trying to pick up on some things which I find very interesting. I see
of
three
course.
completely different looks. I mean, I see Nick, and I love that picture. I mean, actually, he's not looking in front of the camera. I think those are very powerful. I mean, I think also that that kind of thing is very good. The other one, of course, it's showing a more approachable. This one looks like a big celebrity kind of thing. Then this one is the other picture on the right from the other guy is a little bit more approachable, friendly look. And then the picture underneath, it looks confident, but it's also very sensual. So
Yeah, and
that's
she,
another aspect that possibly I mean, especially ladies need to work on, no?
yeah, it's perfect. And it's funny because for her brand, we did an entire branding shoot as a boudoir photo shoot because she's a love coach. So she teaches and coaches women how to love themselves so that they can find a match that is a partner for them that also loves them as much. So the amount of sensuality and confidence and self power we had her exude during her photo shoot just like took her business to a extreme phenomenal level because she just started showing up in such a different way once she saw herself that way. And then she was able to really pull her clients up into that light too. So yeah, I love that. And Nick, you as a general rule, you want to look into the camera because your eyes are your connection point with your client base and your potential client base. Unless you want to also add in another photo like Nick, he's breaking a few rules of connection, but in a very purposeful way. He has sunglasses on, so you can't really connect with him. And you can see that he's coming out of a car, but you can't really see what car it is, and you want to think just by like how cool he looks that it's like this amazing car. Like, you know, there's a lot to be left to someone's interpretation, which is a good thing. But what that photo really exudes is more of an exclusivity,
Yeah.
like only certain people can touch me kind of confidence. That doesn't work for everybody's brand. So you want to be very intentional on how you use and relay
Yeah.
your confidence
Yeah,
piece. You know what
I
I
think
mean?
here there's it's a very good moment for me to bring this up because I mean I have done I think a total of two branding sessions in my life. I mean I have used and I have let's say 6 or 7 pictures. But then I see what Nick has done, and he has taken this very seriously. I mean, he has really taken a lot of pictures. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm definitely going to be thinking, first of all, this is what I'm going to do. I mean, after what I have learned from you, what I have seen from Nick and other people, is I'm going to think of all the different ideas and emotions and images that I want to portray throughout my entire portfolio of different things that I do, and I'm gonna definitely invest in a bit of a more expensive portfolio because obviously, I mean, here everybody's coming. They're gonna get a basic branding package, 3, 4 images, but then afterwards, I think it's important that you think of all the different images that you want to use for your marketing, so that you will be able to take it to the next level because it makes a tremendous difference.
Yeah, it really does.
Yeah, awesome. Okay.
Okay, cool. So the next tip is to lean in and look right into the camera, face the world
Yeah.
head on and be engaging, as I said here. So, like I said, your connection point is truly your eyes. When I'm editing photos, I don't look at someone's mouth for their smile. I look at their eyes because our eyes are truly the window to our soul. And I can always tell if someone's uncomfortable or insecure or giving me a fake smile by their eyes and not their mouth. So be very intentional about really engaging with the camera because your connection is your currency, as my coach says, and I completely believe that. So you want to create the most engaging connection with the people who are seeing you in that media. And you can do that in any form, in video, on TV, and also in photos. So really utilize that, like leaning in. And here's an example of where this is one of my clients. She was leaning back, and I was like, no, just, pop forward a little bit and lean in. And you can see the different energy in that. First of all, when
Absolutely.
she's leaning back, and she's a thin woman, but when we lean back, we'll tend to give ourselves a double chin. It doesn't matter what size you are. So you want to avoid any unflattering positions, and you want to avoid the, like, you can't touch me, I'm unapproachable, I'm backing away from you type of engagement, because that affects your bottom line. So you want to really lean in and engage with the camera. And if you need to envision your best friend or your partner or something is like running the camera, do that. Whatever you need to do, show up and really connect with the camera and the person who's speaking. And you guys will get a ton of training around this, so I don't need to go into it. So pose intentionally as well.
Very good.
There are different, what's that?
No, very good point. Pose intentionally. I like that. I mean, just do the fierce pose. Awesome, awesome.
Yeah,
Just be there, smile.
yeah, because we all have these like rules that society has taught us. So I have a lot of people who come to me and I'm like, do you ever cross your arms? And they're like, yeah, but I don't want to do that. That's like the old real estate photo, and that tells people that you're closed off.
Excellent.
And it can, but it's also a power pose. So you want to be very careful about how you really think about that. So to pull it off as not a closed off, but as more of a power pose, you lean into the camera a little bit more. You make sure your face is directly engaging with that camera, and you smile.
Yeah.
If you have this like badass look on your face, it is going to look like you're going to be mad.
Yeah.
And
there's a great TED talk that from a lady called Amy Schumer, and she talks about power posing. And she says that,
Oh,
I mean, that power posing is not only for pictures. I mean, sometimes, for example, there are situations that you're going to a meeting or whatever, and you strike one of those power poses, and immediately the entire energy shifts. So, I mean, one of the things that I recommend you is that you actually watch this talk from Amy Schumer. It's just fantastic. It's a 15-minute talk, and it will be telling you exactly how to do the power poses. And what is great is that she starts doing them before she starts showing them, and then when people start realizing what she's doing, they say, "Wow, this is just amazing!" And this could be really nicely captured on camera.
that's so funny. I'm so happy that you mentioned that because, yeah, I do the same thing when I'm on stage, and I purposely, like as a woman, I especially when I wear a dress on stage, I don't cross my legs over. I don't cross my ankles. I make it a point to stand very firmly and grounded in my stance. And I will even to make a point and shake things up when I'm talking about stepping into the power of who you are. I will literally on stage take a step and like pound the stage with my foot just to create that shake in the energy. So that I'm so happy that you said that, and I just made a note of that. I'm going to go watch that too. I'm very interested in what she has to say. But yeah, thank you for adding that piece because just as in video and on stage for you guys, there is a powerful presence in doing that too. So that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and fifth point, relax. Don't get caught up in your insecurities. If you have, I photographed this woman who she wouldn't smile and show her teeth, and it looked really odd because it looked like she was holding back. And I knew in her brand it would look like she was holding something back and not create trust. So I asked her what was going on there, and she said, "Well, I am getting dental work done, and I have these teeth in the back that are missing." And I was like, you know what's funny? Like I can't even tell. Like
Yeah.
I don't even see them. And like here she was, like what's the most amazing gift you could get from someone? Like a genuine smile. And like here she is, like holding back this amazing gift she has to share with people just because she thinks that like people can see a few teeth missing. Like it's really like if you think of it like that, you're just being selfish. And don't be selfish. Don't hold back on people. Really allow them to see you and see your magnificence because that's all they see. And you need to like just relax and don't get caught up in these like tiny things that you think are instrumental that really aren't. Just like allow yourself to be and give that gift to people.
Yeah. On that topic, I think, and for example, from whom I see that they have this kind of thing is people that wear glasses. What's your take on that? So that I think it's a lot of people get very insecure the moment that they take their glasses away.
Oh, when you take their glasses away?
What do you think? I mean, is it better to get pictures with glasses, without glasses? I don't know. I mean, it's just my question.
Oh, got it, got it. Okay, now I'm clear. Sorry. Yes. Okay. So if you wear glasses all of the time, wear your glasses in your photos. Like people aren't going to recognize you without them. And I get that there's, a possibility of a reflection of a flash. Like, one way to get around that is slightly dip your chin down. But make sure your glasses are all the way on, like pressed against your face, so that when you dip your chin down to avoid reflection of a flash, if you're not giving guidance, the photographer should let you know. Just ask. But you can dip your chin down just slightly and still look engaging at the camera. You can typically get around that flash, but you don't want to not wear your glasses if you wear them all the time. If you only wear your glasses to read, I would say, like I tell my clients, don't wear their glasses in their photos. If you wear your glasses to see part-time, take some photos with them, take some photos without them. But do not remove your glasses if you wear them all the time. People will not recognize you.
Good point. Awesome.
And also for women, I do a whole, which I won't get into, but I do a whole makeup tutorial. And my client that I just showed, the love coach with the confidence piece, she actually was always insecure of her glasses, and she needed to wear them. And so her first photo shoot with me, we did like a nighttime look with her makeup, like a smoky eye. We did like fake eyelashes. We really like popped her features. And for women, when you wear glasses all the time, you can get away with a nighttime look in your makeup on your eyes, because your eyes will pop so much bigger, and your eyes will be the focus as opposed to your glasses. So you're actually punching up your features so that it just like the essence of your eyes actually exudes through the glasses, and people see your eyes instead of your glasses. So that's what I tell my clients all the time. And all of a sudden, when we did her eyes and we did the makeup, she loved wearing glasses. Like, she loved her glasses on her, and it was just adding more makeup, you know? And it's funny, like these little like tips that really go a long way.
Awesome. Okay, so we continue.
Okay. So one of the things that I talk about also is being your authentic brand and doing that consistently. I don't actually personally know this girl, but she caught my attention because just as she is like journaling her own life on an everyday basis, like she's showing up consistently everywhere. Like, I'm in the spotlight, I'm the glam girl, and there is no getting around that. And it's beautiful because like even when she's at the spa doing a mask, like she still looks like the glam girl. So she's always on brand. So whatever your brand is, just remember that when you're even taking your own photos and documenting your journey on this trip. Just stay consistently. What are those few words you want people to have a perceived value about you? And, you know, just make sure all the photos and videos and everything that you post, actually you are that, you know.
That's a great tip. Stay in brand. I've never heard of that, but that's something that I'm gonna start borrowing from you. Stay in brand. I love it.
Okay, good. Okay, and then I haven't looked at this presentation in a long time. I did prepare, but I knew that the tips were in here. So this is a picture of me. Goes back to my insecurity comment. I am breaking like probably about 10 things that I'm insecure about in this photo that like I would notice and no one else would. And clearly, because I had 327 likes in one day and 67 comments. Like, no one fucking sees my insecurities, you know? And like I was just exuding so much happiness that it, like, when you do that, it doesn't matter. You just get over yourself, you get yourself out of the way, and you show up ready to serve and make people feel good. So you can get that social proof all day long on Facebook.
Yeah. And I think now that they're going to be in Dubai, I mean, now that you know that you have to stay in brand, we're going to be having photographers, everybody's going to be taking selfies, everybody's going to be taking pictures. Yeah. Stay in brand. That's a great tip.
Stay in brand and still enjoy the trip. Like, still be present. Like, take the shot that you need to like have your social proof on, and then like enjoy the rest of your time there.
Exactly.
And be present.
The Facebook paparazzi are going to be around for sure.
Yeah. So here's another thought process. If a picture says 1,000 words, what does yours say about you? That's just like, you know, and you can do this with your friends. Do this with people who would be really honest with you. Like, what does this photo say about me? Because a lot of the times the way we see ourselves isn't really how the world sees us, because we're looking through our own insecurities and our own, like, you know, rose-colored glasses. So if you looked at a picture of you, would you hire you in that field? Is an important piece to add to that, because your brand is going to look a little bit different whether if you're a model versus a, you know, IT person. Like, you know, you want to make sure that you would hire you in that industry and field.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah, and this is just another version of like how to see yourself differently. So this is my client Shanda. She's a good friend of mine too. Um, she had a six-figure business, a
Wow, that's
multiple
an
six-figure
incredible
business.
change, huh? I mean, from this picture to this
Yeah,
picture, wow.
yeah. So she had a six-figure business when I was like, we should brand you visually, and she was like, I don't know. And she finally hired me, and I was like, okay. And when she started showing me her old photos, I was like, stop, stop. Because she had brown hair. Really, she has blonde hair now. She was using photos where she had brown hair and like cut out of the photo, and it just, she was like, I don't know why I need this. And when I took her through the experience and she got her photos, she was like, oh my God, like now I what you're talking about. And so she saw an increase in her income, just over 100 grand in 1 month by using her photos and by using them the way I had told her to use them. Not only that, but her photo, because it exuded her real essence of who she is. She's such a happy person. And she just like, oh, she like wakes up like this. It's ridiculous. And so because her essence was so captured in her photo, that's how she met her guy, and they're getting married and they have a baby and all that good stuff too. So
Wow, that's
she,
amazing.
yeah, so she now has a multi seven-figure business, and
I mean, if I
she
if I
thought she was,
if I see it that way, I mean, let's say that it is for a dating site. I mean, I'm just for the sake of it, I can definitely see it. I mean,
yeah,
it's the same person, but you see this other person and say, "Wow! I mean, this girl is stunning." And in this girl, in this picture, she also looks pretty, but I mean, she doesn't do herself a favor. And I think this specific image makes the whole point. I mean, just not only on the attracting a partner, but also, I
right.
mean, just saw an increase of $100,000 because of the picture. This is the power of when branding is done correctly. That is what happens. I mean, people don't believe it, but it's true.
It's true. And it's funny, like if you think about like, okay, let's go back to the dating site really quick. So so he swiped on her picture because he loved who she was as a person and how she was showing up. Well, what if like she was using I'm so sorry if you can hear my dog. He is like whining to go out. But what if she used the photo of herself in the brown hair and then showed up as a blonde? Like as a guy looking for like a great partner that you can trust, like when she sat down, like already you wouldn't trust her because you'd be like, what the hell, like this is not the person, like I'm into brunettes or whatever it is.
And
Your clients and
she looks also
customers
a
have
lot
the
younger.
same, yeah, your clients and customers have the same reaction.
Exactly.
So so
Perfect example.
they, you create that break in trust immediately if you show up differently than how they've seen you and met you online.
Yeah. Wow. Awesome.
Let's see. Okay, so this is another one that,
Wow.
I get a lot of clients who are like, no, I just want to lose a little bit of weight and whatever. Like, okay, this is a huge difference. Like, you can't even tell how she has these, like, strikingly beautiful blue eyes. Like, you can't even see them in the photo. So,
I agree.
like, she's like, I want to lose some weight before working with you. And I was like, okay, well, what are you going to use until then? Like, how can we get people to actually like see the brilliance of who you are? Like, like, I don't care if she's overweight. Like, I would absolutely like hire person B over person A because she
100%.
cared enough to like, really show up in her greatness.
Yeah. And also, for example, in this picture, I could see the what she's the necklace that she's wearing. The other one just looks like completely messy, while this one just fits perfectly the eyes, the entire thing. Also, I think those how they call them. Well, I don't remember what the fashion term is for it, but what you wear, I mean, it could be necklaces or it could be rings or it could be whatever. They also not need to be chosen purposely, right?
Right, right, yeah, and we'll get into clothing and stuff too. So that's a good point. To keep it simple and don't overdo it. Like, she's very spiritual, and a lot of her work she does is very intuitive. So when she was wearing all black to show up a little more sophisticated, we chose a statement piece for her jewelry that really spoke to her heart space too. Like it looks a little more airy-fairy. It's this beautiful color, and it really stands out. It looks a little more, you know, on that whimsical realm, but she doesn't look cartoony.
Exactly. Very nice.
Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you. And then this is that client. You can see like her photos
What a
before.
difference.
Like if the lighting is great, like I would be like, oh, she looks great, you know, like she looks so peaceful and beautiful. But like then I got on Skype with her and I was like, oh, now I know, like you're not that person at all. You have this like big, bold, sensual personality, and you're like out to like grab life by its horns, and you know, and that just like was not relayed in that original photo, even though the lighting is perfect. It's a very pretty photo, but
Yeah.
it actually wasn't, you know, who she was.
Yeah, and also, for example, in this one, you could see the on the previous picture. Yeah, it looks very, even though possibly she's trying to get that spiritual kind of look or whatever. I mean, anytime you know with the spiritual markets, with people which are into that kind of thing, also marketing is very it's very critical, because we're going to have some
Right.
people which are also coming into the soft part. No, it's not only the business part, but also the spiritual part. I think that they should be open to show themselves in a better way, because of course that's going to make them earn more money. In this picture, the image that I get is, oh, you know, she's so good. I'm sure that she's going to be doing something for free for me. She's going to be really healing me, that kind of thing.
Oh,
And that's the kind of image that she gives me. While in this other one, I say, wow, what a stunning image. And I could see that it's more quality, and I will be happy to pay her more in this picture than on this picture.
yeah, that's a great point. I love that. Thank you for
Yeah.
pointing that out and noticing that. Okay, before and after, Nick, you know, we'll just like fly through. So I've photographed Nick a few times, and you know, he just keeps showing up, playing a bigger game and a bigger game. So you know, the most important thing is your belief in yourself will radiate from you in a way your clients will be lining up to work with you, and that's because you know Nick is truly unstoppable, and that's kind of his brand. It's Life on Fire. His event's called Ignite, and so this last branding shoot we did with him, I really wanted to take him to a next level and create that I'm unstoppable, and if you want to work with me, you're going to be unstoppable too, kind of
Very, very
mentality.
nice. Very nice set of pictures. And this also proves exactly what I was saying a little bit earlier. I mean, if you can start. I mean, you right now are going to go there and you're going to have a basic package. So you have it so that you can get started. But I mean, as long as you keep on progressing, I have also done that mistake. I mean, I've been using the same pictures already for a number of years, but I have seen what Nick has accomplished. I have seen what other people have accomplished. I mean, the best example for this is Madonna. I mean, she is the master on reinventing herself, and I think your branding needs to be reinventing yourself so that you can actually keep on growing and playing a bigger game. I love this example. I think it's just absolutely brilliant. I saw that you were going to go to your last slide. So just let me just comment on something that well, we haven't covered, which I think is just important. Colors for people to wear, what not to wear, what is the ideal thing for a basic branding photo shoot. This is going to be for most their first branding photo shoot that they're going to be wearing. Most likely, they're going to be having a white background. We're going to take also
Okay.
some pictures with beautiful backgrounds from Dubai. I mean, the Burj Khalifa and the Burj Al Arab and other things, but those are different things. But for this shooting, where they're going to have a white background, what are the best colors to wear, what they should wear, what they shouldn't wear? And I think that I think will cover most of the things that they need to cover and know before they go into their photo shoot.
Yeah, so what I tell my clients, I'll answer your question first. So you want to certain colors on us either attract energy to us, or they deflect energy away from us. Obviously, you want to, in your branding photos, create a powerful expression of attracting energy to you so that you're engaging with the people who see your photo and really standing out and pulling everything towards you, being in the spotlight, being the celebrity of your industry and brand. And so a way you can figure that out is pay attention to different colors you've gotten compliments in, because, you know, hey, you look really great today. Oh, you look so happy today. Like, whatever compliments, it really is about what you're wearing and the color, as well as the essence of how you're feeling. But pay attention to what colors you've gotten a lot of compliments in. And then one thing that you can do that came from a style expert I interviewed at one point is she said to place a mirror, like, you know, a cheap, like, full-length mirror or whatever, against a window. So you can utilize the natural light of the window and just, like, hold different tops and colors up to you so that you can see what colors are really showcasing your skin and making your skin warm and approachable, or what colors make your eye visually, like, leave the space, you know. So that's a good way, unless you're working with a style expert. That's the best way I have heard someone give advice on colors. As far as outfits, you know, what you have in your closet is probably good enough. And I do this with my clients all the time. I tell them not to shop until we speak, because if they go out and shop, typically you're going to buy the same kind of stuff that you already have in your closet, because that's all we know. Until you change the way you see yourself and want to show up and change the way you see your clothing and go through this process, you're just going to buy a lot of the same stuff, which is fine, because the stuff you have in your closet is great, and that's where I start with my clients. So think about how you want to be perceived and what level of look you want to create for that perceived value. Also think about how you work with your clients and how they get to see you. You don't want to show up in a business suit when you work with your clients in a cute top and jeans. Like that isn't going to relate. If you never wear a suit, don't show up in a suit for your photos, because there's going to be that break in trust. You know, wear outfits and clothing that you feel really good in and you get compliments in, and you know, run them by the people that you trust, who are going to be honest with you, who love you in your life, and, you know, narrow it down that way. But if you want to stand out, if you want to be the celebrity in your industry, then go off of that. And also, if you want to lose weight and you feel like you're a little bit larger than what you really are comfortable being right now, do not wear oversized clothes to hide that, because oversized clothes will actually make you look bigger in photos and videos. So you want to be really cognizant of that and wear the right fitted clothes that actually bring you know, attention to, if you have a great, like, waist shape. You want to wear, like, a cute little fitted jacket that shows off your waist shape, not something that is going to make you look bigger. So those are just different. That's kind of like the ground rules.
Yeah, awesome.
Does that help?
Absolutely, absolutely. So, well, we have
Okay.
done a lot longer than I expected. And I think it's just. Oh, you still have a few more things? No, I think you covered everything. No.
Oh no, it's okay. This was just what not to do right before your photos, which I
Right.
actually covered some of those. Do you do you want me to talk about what I'm going to give you guys to help you prep further?
Sure. Well, let's just go over these points, which I think are interesting. Getting a haircut.
Oh,
These are things not to do.
yeah. Things not to don't try a new hairstylist, or like you get to Dubai and you're like, oh my God, I want to chop all my hair off. This will be amazing. Um, right before you get into this like huge media thing that you like paid so much money to be a part of. Like, don't do anything super risky that's gonna detour you from getting the most out of your experience.
Yeah.
Yeah, facial waxing, same thing. Sometimes I've had clients who have gotten facial waxing done for like 20 years with no reaction, and all of a sudden before the photo shoot, like they get this crazy reaction to the wax or something. So yeah, make sure you give yourself plenty of time between like any kind of facial stuff that you're gonna do.
Yeah.
Um, don't drink heavily, and by don't drink heavily, I mean alcohol. One of my clients read this and she was like, "Oh my God, I'm like dying for a glass of water. My friend told me not to drink any water. I'll be bloated." I'm like, "Oh my God, no!
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, don't drink alcohol. You
Yeah.
want to be hydrated. Salty foods also are gonna, possibly make you a little more bloated or a little more puffy. So, and don't forget your important clothes and accessories that you want to. I
I
have people who are so focused
I think this is
on
always
something else.
this is just great.
Yeah, and they
The,
forget like
the
the
only thing that
main
I'm going to see
jacket.
challenging is the beauty sleep, because of course we have a very busy
Yeah,
agenda, and on top of that they're going to be having jet lag. So I hope that that's going to be okay.
exactly. So like, yeah, make sure you're covered. If you need sleeping pills that will help you sleep better, if you need like magnesium, like whatever it is for you that's going to really allow you to quickly zonk yourself out so that you get as much like deep sleep as
Yeah.
possible.
My, my
For
big
those
secret
times,
is
yeah,
melatonin. I mean, I've been traveling back and forth. I mean, you can go to the vitamin shop, and especially if you can buy the buy the drops, the 10 milligram drops, and just get drops. It just knocks you out. I mean, it's just the best, and it's completely natural. So that's one of the things that I'll recommend just on.
yeah. Oh, and don't try something new on the trip. Like, give it a shot at home first,
Yeah, good point.
and go go that route because melatonin doesn't work for me and it keeps me awake. So like I know that
Really? Oh my
like
God.
yeah, try stuff before you go on the trip.
Awesome. 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 All
Okay,
right.
cool.
So yeah,
So
I mean,
yeah, so I'm gonna give you guys a book that I wrote, and it has visual examples and it gives the prep stuff. It goes into it even more in depth. So I'm happy to do that for you. Hopefully that helps and gives you even added value to really give you examples of how you want to decide to show up and be on brand.
fantastic. Well, Nikki's she's here in the States. Obviously, she's based in San Diego. If you ever have the opportunity of working with her, you definitely should do it. I mean, if you are going to a conference in San Diego or whatever, get in touch with her. I think a photography session with her must be amazing. Hopefully, as we were saying, she didn't come to our first trip. Hopefully, she will be able to come to our second trip. And we know the tremendous value that she can that she can bring. I think that this information was very important for you guys to know before the trip so that you can get yourself prepared. You can just go look at the magazines. You can get all the things that you want for your garderobe. All these things which are going to be important for your branding. You get 100% prepared. So, Nikki, do you want? Possibly you can tell them where they can get in touch with you. Of course, you're there in the group, but if you want to give your details or whatever so that they can get in touch with you, and hopefully, I mean, I thoroughly encourage you to just think of this branding session that we're going to be having in Dubai. This is going to be your standard, first of all, your first standard branding photography. But this doesn't stop there. Once again, as I mentioned about Madonna, as we saw some examples from Nick, it's an important thing that you take it further so that you will be able to play a bigger game. And I think that's just a very important part, and Nikki will be able to help you.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. Yeah, I'm in the group. The best way to probably just email me, Nikki at NikkiIncandela.com, and if you want me to throw that in the group or you
Sure.
want to put it in there. The Facebook messaging thing, like it's lost on me sometimes, so I don't want you to like feel like you're not being seen or heard. So I just want to be honest about the best way to reach me is either to call me or email me, um, and me and my team will take good care of you.
Awesome. All right. Well, once again, this has been our following session on getting prepared for the trip to Dubai and Bahrain. This is Ernesto Verdugo, and we have Nikki Incandela. It has been a pleasure being with you. I hope that you have found this session valuable, and I look forward to seeing you in Dubai and Bahrain very, very soon. I'll just stop the recording now.